Alrighty then. Excuse me. Shit, my face breaking on everything. I don't know what's going on. Hey, some bull job this weekend. Let me not even front on it. Man, we back. Live from the desk. Told you I was gonna come from the desk back to the desk. Um Once the Lions season got started, we here. Season preview, and I'll be doing some previews of the individual teams. I might start tomorrow. I don't know who I'm gonna start with in NFC North. I might do an NFC North prediction. I just don't like predict the Lion games. So predict the winner. I don't want to do that, to be honest. Um, just because I don't want to jinx the Lions and my predictions, I just don't like they unpredictable. You bet with them, you lose. You bet against them, you lose. So I don't really, don't do projections for the Lions wins and losses. To me, it's not fun at all. It's usually heartbreak. But here we are. Every Detroit Lion is healthy. That's on the active roster that isn't on the pup list, which I think that's only a few Lions on the pup list. John Kaminsky is one of them. His listed date back is January 5th as of right now. And they had another guy I never heard, John Babbitt or somebody like that. Don't know who that is. But everybody healthy going into the season except for Melifanu. It's a chance that he may play Sunday. A lot of revamping is going on. We'll talk about the 53-man roster that's going on. I mean, it's exciting time. What I'm finding out is that most people on my channel prefer Piston videos. That's crazy, bro. That's real crazy. So yeah, I'm trying to fit as many Piston videos, as I can, honestly. That's what y'all want to hear. Shoot, I'm gonna keep y'all up to news. As many Pistons videos that come up. I heard that the 2K come out in September. I don't play 2K anymore. My reason for that, real quick, they just made it, I went too long without playing it, and they just made it complicated. It's more of an RPG than an actual game now. But shout out to everybody that does play it. It ain't no knock over here. I bought Madden, but I really ain't been able to buckle down and play it. Life kind of got hectic for a minute, but I like playing with the Lions on Madden. I think I like running with the Lions, Atlanta, and it was another team I like. Might be Jacksonville. The three teams I run with. I haven't ran with Jacksonville and Atlanta yet, but those are three teams I'm projected to run with. So I might get a game or two in tonight. Do me that favor, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. I do appreciate everybody for supporting the channel. So yeah, there was a lot that went on this off season in the NFC North. I mean, obviously, our biggest competition is Green Bay on paper, but that's on paper. Minnesota. I think a lot of Detroit fans were excited about Minnesota for the simple fact we want to see JJ McCarthy. We didn't get an opportunity to see JJ McCarthy hurt himself. I know one guy I worked with, he was like, I wonder did he have that injury, back at Michigan? And I'm like, yeah, probably not, because they do a lot of extensive background work on these guys, medical and all that type of stuff. So I'd probably guess that he didn't have that injury going back to Michigan. And pray to God he didn't for the Vikings' sake. But yeah, we won't get an opportunity to see him do what he was supposed to do. Honestly, man. 1 minute. No. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, so then you look at and I do these individual breakdowns of these teams. Chicago, they did a lot this offseason. Their defense is projected to be pretty good. Caleb Williams, I hadn't seen a lot of him, play, but I seen him at Oklahoma. I some reason I watch a lot of Oklahoma games, when he was there. Really good arm, smaller guy. They surrounded him with Keenan Allen, Romeo Duzier, what was his name, from Washington, DJ Moore, which I really don't look at DJ Moore as a number one receiver. He's probably the best number two receiver in the league, or one of the tops. Keenan Allen is a guy that moved in and out the slot. So he moved in and out the slot. So he's gonna be a difficult matchup. I think he burnt us up last year when we played the LA Chargers. Um, but they move him around. But kind of looking at Chicago real quick, one of the issues that I have with Chicago is you play outdoors, and I know they get in the Dome Arena. I think that's the rumor, they get in the Dome Arena. But when you get a young team like that, the number one thing they should have did was invest into a run game. They went out there and they invested into a passing game. So that lets you know right then and there when you go play the Chicago Bears, they're gonna throw the ball. It's no mystery what they're gonna do. They got DeAndre Swift, which he's a really good dual threat running back, catching it, running it. Obviously, he played here. He played behind a really good offensive line in Philadelphia, by the way, which I think Saquon Barkley gonna kill it, in my opinion. But yeah, kind of when you look at it from that aspect of it, you got a good defense over there. You know what I'm saying? They moved on from Eddie Jackson, going with Jaquan Brisker. Why not invest into a running game? I think ever since they got rid of David Montgomery, that team ain't really been right. They should have went out there and got a workhorse running back, and they should be handing that ball up about 20, 30 times to protect Caleb Williams. I don't think they really should be, throwing the ball as much. And that's my opinion on it. That's my opinion on it. But Green Bay is Green Bay. They got 1,000 great receivers. They add Josh Jacobs. It depends on what Josh Jacobs got left in his in the tank after missing that time off. But defensively, they had a lot of number one picks defensively over there. And they had a bunch of number one picks. So yeah, I look forward to seeing what they do, and they probably gonna be the team. They give us, big run for our money, bro, to be honest. Um, so yeah, man. But as far as us, we made a lot of moves this year. Yeah, we made a lot of moves this season, man. So let's get into them. Let's see. And some of the moves that we did make were kind of like capital moves. Um, it was capital moves in my opinion, and like or investment moves. And that's what I looked at. They made a lot of like self-investment moves when you start talking about like, okay, we had to wait for Levi Onwuzurike to get healthy. Now he's healthy. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully Josh Pascal can stay healthy. Um, so now we kind of got those like, index fund or investment type of funds where, we stash a guy away. We stash a guy away for some time being. And, you know, he paid dividends down the line. I think that's what the Lions got going on right now. So kind of when you look at everything they did, Kaminsky went on injured reserve. They released CJ Moore from the practice squad. I didn't know that. So now they got Donovan Peoples Jones on the practice squad. You know, they signed Mitchell, whoever, Kingsley in the center, Jake Fromm, Jamar Jefferson, Jamarco Jones, Tom Kennedy, tight end James Mitchell. They just released CJ Moore from there. DN Pat O'Connor, I think he went to Eastern. Tim Patrick to the practice squad. Kyle Pico, Allen Robinson, Detroit native, Chris Smith, Isaac Ukuhu. A lot of people liked him. I like St. Gestra all to the practice squad. They released a bunch of other guys, man, but they, DJ Reader is a full go. So this is just all the moves that they made. I'm trying to look for the important ones. So obviously they extended Taylor Decker, um, picked up Jake Bates in there. The David Bata guy, he the one that was injured, excuse me. He won't be back until after the Super Bowl. So he done for the season. Whatever he toe up, he toe up. Here go Jake Bates, Terrion Arnold signed. They released DB Craig James, whoever the hell that was. They signed Enix Rackstraw in the draft. Gay Golf and extension. Let's see what else. Gay St. Brown and Sewell extension. Golf and Sewell and St. Brown's extension kick in next year. Sewell extension kick in the year after next. They brought back Craig Reynolds. I think Kendall Vitor. I think he made the roster. Yeah, I think he made the roster. So obviously we know what happened with Cam Sutton, 8 game suspension now. He counted 10 million against the cap. We talked about that today. And if the Lions tried to you know, waive his whole contract. What ended up happening was, they couldn't get rid of the whole contract, or they tried to, I forget the word for it, just exile the whole contract. But then, instead of a $10 million hit, cap hit was a $4.2 million cap hit. Um, so they did that. They brought back Brock Wright. San Francisco tried to steal him. Got rid of Jerry Jacobs, Emmanuel Mosley. He got injured. They signed St. Gesture coming off injury. Now he on the practice squad. So cut Tracy Walker. He got the biggest cap hit of dead money against the Lions. That Betts guy, he back in the Canadian Football League. So it didn't work out for him. He could have took a guaranteed contract from the Eagles, came here instead. I think Traquan Smith already got injured. Darius Fountain got cut. So they made some interesting moves this offseason, man. Isaiah Buggs, that's who it was. They waived him. That was the starting defensive tackle in the video I did later on. I didn't know who was the other starting defensive tackle. What was the other guy that went to the Kansas City Chiefs last year? We had what's the other guy we had from Kansas City? We traded him to Kansas City. He just got in trouble too. Damn, what was this brother's name, man? He just got in trouble for doing something dumb. It was Isaiah Buggs. It was Isaiah Buggs. So who I just say Isaiah Buggs? Let me see. It couldn't have been him. Let's go back. I feel like it was somebody else. Yeah, it was him, Isaiah Buggs. I feel like it was somebody else starting that defensive tackle with them last year. Not named Isaiah Buggs. Yeah, I feel like it was somebody else. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody who started off a defensive tackle, but I could be wrong. So going there, hitting the hooker, obviously another thing in the offseason, he beat out what's the brother's name? I always call him Tim Boyle, but that's not his name. Oh man. Nate Sudfeld. So yeah, Nate Sudfeld. Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, your two starting running backs. Gibbs is 98 to 100% ready to go on Saturday. Sunday for y'all. Don't forget, we got a football game on Friday from Brazil. The Eagles are hosting in Brazil. They're the home team. They're hosting the Green Bay Packers. So for my parlay boys or same game parlay boys, don't forget Friday, 8:15 Detroit time. The Eagles will be hosting the Green Bay Packers. So in Brazil, which is very dangerous for them going to Brazil for a number of different reasons. So yeah, we got a receiver, St. Brown, J-Mo, Khalif Raymond. Khalif and J-Mo gonna man the outside. Well, there you go right there. Traquan Smith and then Antoine Green on IR. So they gonna man the outside. So I don't. As of right now, they only got 4 active receivers. Isaiah Williams is the backup receiver. So come by Sunday, will Tim Patrick be your 5th receiver? Will Allen Robinson be your 5th receiver, or will they just use a tight end or a running back to be the 5th receiver for right now? That is the trick question. So I don't know. As far as the offensive line, y'all know what it is. Taylor Decker, Graham Glasgow, Frank Ragnow from left to right, Kevin Zeter, and Panisa Will. The newcomer is Kevin Zeter. So I don't know. I guess Big V retired. He just couldn't stay healthy. Jonah Jackson now plays for Los Angeles Rams. They will be without their left tackle. So overall, when I look at the offense, kind of when you look at it now, you kind of like, okay, a weakness is the receiver position. They don't have a true outside big body receiver, which at one point in time, Ben Roethlisberger didn't either. So, so yeah, that was something to you kind of think about for a minute. Roethlisberger didn't have a big body receiver neither. So, at some points, so especially when they got rid of Plexico Burst or whatever. So, but yeah, they didn't have that big body receiver. So, but honestly, man, this team is really predicated on the run game. Everything go off the run. Jameson Williams will bring interesting dynamic into into this system because if they're gonna stack the box, then if Jameson Williams can get off the line of scrimmages, and get one on ones, and him and Jared Goff can connect, I think teams are going to force him and Jared Goff to connect. So I think that's what you gonna get. You're gonna see them kind of challenging the receivers at the line of scrimmage, probably stacking that box. Um, so I think that's a lot of what you probably gonna get from uh, the Detroit Lions. To be honest with you, you don't get a lot of them dudes stacking that box, man, and telling the receivers to beat them. Now the thing about it is them crossing routes and them intermediate inside and outside the hash routes that Laporta and St. Brown run. The NFL gonna try to stop that this year, and I think how Ben Johnson's gonna counter that is he gonna use his backs out the backfield, and he gonna move Jameson Williams around. They gonna find to get the ball in the JMO and St. Brown and Khalif Raymond hands. That's in Isaiah Williams' hands. That's one thing that they four receivers got going for them. They great with yards after the catch. They all running backs. You get the ball in Khalif hand, he can go to the house. Get the ball in J-Mo hand, go to the house. Get the ball in St. Brown hand, he go to the house. Get the ball in Isaiah Williams' hands, he can make something shake. So one of the things you're gonna see them do is get the ball out to their playmakers fast, and that's to the running backs. They both got great hands. I know Gibbs struggled a little bit catching the ball last year, but he known, coming in catching the ball. So you're gonna see a lot of quick passes to these receivers, RPOs, jailbreak screens, or just getting it to them in on end arounds or just getting the ball. That's where the strength of this receiving core is at, is what they can do with the ball in their hands, not necessarily yards at the catch, end arounds, screen plays. Is how elusive they are and how good they are running the ball. That's their strength for their receiving core. Those guys are really shifty. They break great tackles. You just so happen to you have Khalif and J-Mo who can run by guys on the outside. So, but I still think the strength of this defense is this offensive receiving course, what they can do yards after the catch. So that's the strength of this receiving core. Yards after the catch. Yards after the catch. But this team's still gonna run the football. They still gonna find ways to get the ball to Sam Laporta and St. Brown first and foremost. They're gonna run the football, get the ball in their hands, and whatever JMO and whatever the receiving core can offer outside of that, it's just gonna make them that much dangerous. So teams gonna have to figure. I think teams are gonna say, you know what, we're gonna stack the box. We're gonna probably, double. We probably gonna double St. Brown or double Sam Laporta, and we're gonna put our best corner, our best coverage guy on the opposite. So if they double St. Brown, they're gonna put their best cover guy on St. Laporta. If they double Laporta, they're gonna put their best cover guy on St. Brown. So that's how they're gonna attack it. And Khalif Raymond, Jameson Williams, and the backs out the backfield, they gotta win their matchups. So that's what I would do. I would stack the box and enforce everybody not named in the passing game, not named Laporta and St. Brown to beat me. That'd be my game. But quite frankly, I would like to see them come with a little bit more effective running game. Some of the running plays they do is just take a little bit too long to develop. I like to see them really just get the power game going this year. Get the ball going north and south. Get them going off tackle a little bit, but really get them just one cut, hit the hole. Instead of all this misdirection and getting fancy, I would like to see them line up in a powerhouse or a full house or split backs or offset eye or whatever. And I like to see them just really just yo 5 or 6 people in the box versus my 5 or 6 coming there. I like to see them lead with a fullback. I like to see them really kind of tap into they grimy and gritty running game. I like to see a lot of more power out the Lions running game. I think we see too much finesse. I would love to see them really get downhill, with the Craig Reynolds and David Montgomerys and Jameer Gibbs, and really impose their physical will on teams. I don't kind of like the cute misdirections or the if you're gonna do a sweep, let's do a power sweep. Let's pull the guards. Let's get the tight end kicked out there. Let's get the fullback going downhill. So I like to see more of that power game from them. They got great blockers at tight end. They got great blockers at receiver. I would literally like to see them line up tight formations, powerhouse formations, power eye, you know, jumbo single. I like to see them say we're gonna put a hat on the hat. And with Jameson Williams, he makes that even more possible with you being able to play action off JMO, right? Off the backs, and JMO able to run by guys while they stack in the box. So JMO's he gonna be the he gonna be the bait. They're gonna bait JMO to beat him. I'm telling y'all, they're gonna have JMO. They're gonna press JMO. They're gonna have their best defender covering J, and it's gonna be up to JMO and Goff to connect. The NFL teams are gonna make JMO and Goff connect, and if they don't connect, they're gonna stack the box. If they do connect, then it's gonna be lighter boxes for the running backs. I already know what they're gonna do. All that stuff the Lions did over the middle and all that. Now, one of the encouraging things I heard, I think it was the last preseason game versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, was Ben Johnson say they just scratched the surface of what they want to do with with uh with Sam Laporta last year. So they really didn't put a lot on his plate last year. So this year, you can see them put a lot more on Sam Laporta plate. So that means they got some wrinkles in play. One thing about Ben Johnson, he spent all offseason, studying football, studying what other teams doing, adding to their bag. So yeah, I think you're gonna see something different from St. Brown and Laporta this year. But also I think you're gonna see you might be forced to see Laporta play more on the outside. I mean, you might be forced to see St. Brown play more on the outside. So don't be surprised if you see, St. Brown, if he can dominate on the outside, he probably gonna catapult to a top 3 receiver. But they move them all around. CD Lamb 6'3", and he played a lot out the slot. It seemed like the majority out the slot. And when you go to the slot, it's a lot easier to play because you don't have a boundary to help you out. Real good receivers can dominate on the outside, and that's the last thing that St. Brown looking for. But it's gonna be interesting to see the wrinkles Ben Johnson put in the run game and what he put in the pass game. But really, like I did a video, it's really gonna be on Jameson Williams to really make this offense go where it need to go. That's what it's gonna be on. It's gonna be on JMO. It's gonna be on JMO to make it go. If they're gonna say JMO, you're gonna have to beat us. That's what they're gonna say. Their first priority is stopping the run. Their second and third priority is St. Brown and Laporta. So it's gonna be up to Khalif Raymond, JMO, Tim Patrick, Allen Robinson to win their one-on-ones. And if they don't win their one-on-ones, the Lions gonna have a long season. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have a long season. So Jameson Williams is going to be important, but his ability, what he can do with the ball after the catch, if they play off of him 5-6 yards, guess what? You throw it to him hot, you make him he really good with the ball in his hands. You move him around, get him a free release, but he gonna have to beat one-on-one press coverage, and if he could do that, the Lions should be okay and catch the football. Anthony Thompson, salute, bro. Aaron, what's going on, bro? Trey Finesse, what's going on? Shout out to Lord Linux 313. Eric, what it do? He said fun fact about Bucky said fun fact about Caleb Williams. And all his losses in college come after October when it starts to get cold. Also, every ENT except for 2 might be bad news for the Chicago Bears. He said also every interception except for 2. Okay, coming to cold. I mean, yeah, they going to a dome though. Yeah, they supposed to be going to a dome so they can attract the Super Bowl to Chicago. So yeah, and the one thing about everything, October, that wear and tear getting in your body too. He started to get wore down. I thought he was, a much I thought he was a much bigger guy than he is. No diddy. So I thought he was about 6'3", 6'4". He's only 6'1". He from DC, so he should do well in the winter. 215. That's what they got him at. But 6'1", he not the biggest guy in the world. No diddy. So I thought he was, in my mind, I thought he was about 6'3", 6'4". That was Bugs. Or I feel like they had another defensive tackle. Maybe I'm tripping. Alex, salute. He said my boy Corum coming back home. Yeah, they could have used him last week. They about to get smoked by Texas this week, though. Chuck, what's going on, bro? Lions only play one outdoor game until week 16. Well, they built to go outdoors. They built like the Saints team that won the Super Bowl. That Saints team was built to go. That Saints team was built to go. Indoors, outdoors. They was built to go wherever you want to take it to. That's what I liked about that Saints team. They had lost to Chicago, I think, in the NFC Championship game, 1 year, and ever since then, they started. They had a run game, and That run game, it traveled. But let's talk about the defense. So, obviously, there's some new additions in defense, even some additions that we already had. Marcus Davenport highlights the new additions as well. Highly touted guy came out of UTEP, I believe. Got drafted to the New Orleans University, Texas, San Antonio, UTSA, excuse me. For the most part, always injured. And he got a septum ring. Red flag for a grown man to have a septum ring in his nose. Boy, y'all dudes dress like women today, bro. The women dress like dudes, and the dudes dress like women. If we ain't living in the last times, I don't know what we living in. But let me stop. So yeah, he got earring. Man, some weird dudes out here, bro. He got earrings in his ear like my god sister had when she was in high school. Man, and these dudes want to be bad bitches so bad, bro. But yeah, always hurt. Always hurt. All the potential in the world, but you look at it 13, 13, 11, 11, 15, 4 games played last year. Never played a full season. His highlight was his rookie year, 4.5 sacks. He had 9 and 2021, excuse me. He had 9. That was his highlight. And for the most part, man, he like a bad bitch with stanky breath and weak box. That's the best way I can tell you. Physically, he looked good for a minute, but at the end of the day, he never could put it all together. When he started to put it all together, he get injured. This is one guy you cannot rely on. You cannot rely on Marcus Davenport. To me, I get the signing. The Vikings paying the majority of his salary, but you cannot depend on Marcus Davenport. And unfortunately, you cannot depend on Josh Pascal neither. This motherfucker, excuse my language, he ain't never healthy. He ain't never healthy. Every time he started to make some noise, something started hurting on him. This dude ain't never healthy. He is so talented. You can see why they drafted him. I mean, he live in the backfield. You know. You know. You know. But excuse me, sorry, y'all. But yeah, he's so talented, man. Great run stopper. I mean, when he out there, he live in the backfield, bro. Like he's stopping guys in the backfield. He getting penetration. And a lot he could be a perennial all pro, to be honest, every year. But he just don't never stay healthy. I mean, they got some guys that you just can't trust on this defensive line physically. Um, he's a guy that survived cancer. If you didn't know that, bunch of injuries in college. 10 and 12 games played. Came in the league injured, but bro, when he plays, it is phenomenal. When he healthy, bro, he lives in the backfield. You know what I'm saying? But he just a part-time player. Like H-Town had that song Part-Time Lover back in the day. He just like they got some guys. I just be like, man, if him and Davenport can stay healthy, they defensive line will probably be one of the best in the league. But you can't count on him and Davenport, to be honest. And that's why it brings me to this guy, Levi Onwuzurike. He going to spend some time at defensive end this year. Like he got up to 290 pounds after the back surgery. Zeeford was singing his praises in training camp. Just a guy that had a career-threatening back injury. I don't even remember him having 35 tackles. We're playing 16 games his rookie year, but he is so talented, so explosive, nasty. This is where the attitude is going to come for the Detroit defensive line. He's the attitude. He's the persona of the defense in general. Aiden Hutchinson is probably the best player. And, if he plays to his potential, and I'm going to keep it real, Aiden Hutchinson can't touch him. What he gonna mean in his defense? Aiden Hutchinson ain't as good as him. I'll tell you that right now. If he play up to his potential and stay healthy, he's the best player on the defensive line. He's the most important player on the defensive line. because he gives them an attitude. He's like Ndamukong Suh, a big nasty. He undersized, nasty, attitude, um, great at penetrating, stopping the run. He gonna make sure Aiden Hutchinson get 10, 12 sacks easy. He's the guy defensively that if he stays healthy and he play up to his potential, he's there probably amongst one of their best players. Talent wise, their best player in my opinion. I don't think it's pretty much close. But the problem is, can he hold up? That Pittsburgh preseason game he had his rookie year, bruh, he lived in the backfield. Him and Pascal, their ability to penetrate is second to none. No diddy. So is if he can stay healthy, you might see Hutch get it, get defensive player of the year because he gonna free up Hutch to get them sacks. So, but to me, he's much more important than DJ Reader, to be honest. Reader is good at run stopping and leadership, and he's a dog. But the Lions need penetration in the middle. They need somebody that's gonna get up in the backfield, flush the quarterback, especially playing Caleb Williams and Jordan Love and guys like that. That penetration, him and Pascal are probably the two most important defensive players this year, in my opinion. I felt last year Hutchinson and Anzoni was the MVP, and if I had to give it to one, I'm gonna give it to Anzoni just because he's the lesser player, but he was just that important. But defensive line wise, Davenport, Anazorki, Pascal, they will go as far as those guys take them. I know what Aleem McNeil gonna give me. I know what Aiden Hutchinson gonna give me. I know what DJ Reader gonna give me. But as far as everybody else, Houston, Pascal, Anna Zorky, Broderick Martin, Marcus Davenport, they gonna move as they move. And if they can show up, if half of them can show up, uh, don't be surprised if Hutchinson don't be a defensive player of the year because he should fuck around and get 15, 16 sacks easy. A lot of those interior guys, they do the dirt, so the edge guys can really thrive. So I've been high on him since they drafted him. I'm super excited, but the defensive line is going to be very, very key too. And we're going to bounce back. Oh, my bad. Hold on. Yeah, they're my bad. We're going to bounce back to them in a minute. Trust me, we're going to be right back to the defensive line. Then you go to linebacker core. Longest tenure here. They all played together for the most part for a long time. Anazoni, Derek Barnes, Jack Campbell. I think Jack Campbell's ready to take that leap. I think it's time for him to move into the inside eventually. But at Jack Campbell, I think he might be an unsung hero this year. Good defensive. I mean, he was good last year. Gibbs got a lot of the praise last year. Uh, Brian Branch, but down the stretch, he made a lot of him and Anazoni made a lot of plays. They were two of the better linebacker duels that I seen last year. So you got Rodrigo still backing them up. Jalen Reed's Maven, long year, 10-year Lion came here, left, and then came back. No diddy. So yeah, I like him. Derek Barnes, he been having a good camp. So yeah, they linebacker core is solid. They got good depth there. They got guys that you trust there. But I think Jack Campbell is going to take a significant leap this year. He might put himself as one of amongst one of the league's best linebackers. That's why they drafted him. But then we go and look at this cornerback crew, and I think I got a video coming tomorrow. This crew is going to struggle early on, in my opinion. I love Khalil Dorsey. Low key, he can play. Khalil Dorsey, a dog. I like him a lot, but they gonna struggle early on. Yeah, this cornerback, especially if this group struggle, if the front seven struggle, mainly the defensive line, if they struggle, the back end is 100% gonna struggle. They're gonna struggle just based off camaraderie. Even if they play man to man, they don't have a lot of snaps together. In my opinion, we know that. Branch, Joseph coming off injuries. Carlton Davis had a hamstring, which I think was just more of a maintenance. Amick Robertson, he been in there. Terrion is a rookie. They gonna struggle. They got their hands full week one versus the like, don't get your ass whooped. Because I take my belt off. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with people. And I let my pit bull out, I'd be wrong. He ain't gonna bite the kids though. Kids is irritating. Control y'all kids. Get out my window. But yeah, they're gonna struggle early on. This is because the back end is got a gel. It's got a gel together, and they ain't played a lot of snaps together, especially in zone. They gonna hurt. You got to remember, Brian Branch was the nickel last year. He moving to safety. Him and Kirby Joseph is new teammates. They knew new tandems back there. Amick man in the nickel. So we'll see what he did. Brian Branch brought a lot to the nickel. You can leave him out there and in regular situations. Instead of bringing in another linebacker, you can leave him out there and he can fill the run support and pass support. Amick Roberts a little bit undersized, so when they go regular I formation or they go regular base formations, do you bring in Derek Barnes or do you leave Amick Robertson out there? That's a great question. So they gonna struggle early on just because they're not used to each other. There's gonna be some blown coverages, and they're gonna get tested every which way. Excuse me. Cooper Cup is good laterally and going vertically. Puka Nakua is good over the middle, going vertically. Demarcus Robinson was one of the hotter vertical routes runners last year with Matthew Stafford. Tutu Atwell, I think he made a play versus last year. So yeah, they gonna struggle out there. So don't by about game 7, 8, 9, they should start putting it together. But if that front end don't get pressure, that back end gonna get cooked early on. It's just they don't have a lot of time together. Terrion been injured, Carlton been injured, Joseph been injured, Branch been injured. So they gonna get cooked. I mean that is 100% the thing. If the front end stuffer, they don't get no pressure, they're going to get cooked out there on Sunday. That's just what it is. But as the season progresses on, they're going to gel. They're going to be able to play more zone. They're going to get better. And you're going to start to see guys really settle into their roles. But not a lot of time out there. But, do I see an upgrade at safety? With Brian Branch back there? Yeah. I mean, Melifano, he hit the ground running last year when he came back. It's going to be interesting, though. But Brian Branch, he's going to be able to make a lot more plays in the safety position. A lot more opportunities for picks. He'll still, guard the slot. He'll still guard tight ends. But you see him in the box making plays in the flash, making plays in the run game. So he gonna be more of his natural position. He gonna be a lot better. Kirby Joseph, he go back to his natural position. At one point when Melifanu and Gardner Johnson was out, they had him guarding the one. They had him doing the one-on-ones. That ain't him. He ain't no man-to-man safety. He one of them safeties that play single high, who rob, what I'm saying, who float around. He better off just, playing the backfield. He better roaming. You know what I'm saying? And Brian Branch is going to be the dude that's going to be guarding the safeties, and F.A. Malafano going to come in, blitz off the edge, and guards tight ends, guarding the corners and all that, or nickels and all that. The nickels, he going to do all that stuff. So I think about 5, 7, 8 games before you start to see that secondary hit a stride. Now, if that front end, they do their job, you know what I'm saying, and they get pressured in the back end, they have time to jail, but they gonna get cooked early on. I'll tell you that right now. They gonna get cooked. That front end don't get no pressure, they gonna get cooked. But it comes with it. It's a camaraderie type of group. They got to get the camaraderie. It's gonna be some blown coverages. If I played the Lions and I'm in LA and I knew I got all those new guys in the back end, I'm doing a lot of motion. So he said Derek Jeter is going to be at the game. Michigan, as I said, they about to get cooked. Them Texas boys about to come up there and cook the hell out of them. They ain't got no quarterback. That Michigan State game was the worst game I've seen in a minute. That shit was horrible. I'm so excited for this season. He said, Michael said, I really think big things out of Michael Davenport. If he stay healthy, I think Glenn expects him to get 8 or sacks. Don't hold your breath on that. The Dan Campbell is just loving the Levi offseason. Now it's time to show it. Lions rocking the black Calvin Johnson design Sunday. Did he design those? He said, I love Levi Washington. I've been so disappointed, but glad he had a great offseason. So Levi's nice, huh? Dan Campbell been talking about him. Kevin Zeifert, the one that gave him and Lee McNeil the cosign. Ray Hines, we don't need another suit. Yeah, you do. You need those guys. The Raiders was winning championships. They had dudes that spit in your face and kick your ass on the field and after the game. You need guys with attitude. You can't win with all choir guys. You need guys that got attitude. Even in today's, you need a guy that's you need a Sue. They ain't had a defensive identity since Sue left. That's real talk. Chris Jones get Kansas City their identity. Baltimore, it's in their genetics. If you playing Baltimore, it's in your genetics, bro. Like that's just they done a great job. They done a great job. You know, they done a great job for years passing that stuff down. So, um, but yeah, it's embedded in dudes in Baltimore for sure. It's embedded. They done a great job of passing all that down. So, I think Michael said I think Jack Campbell's going to have a very big season. He has a lot of flashes last year, and I think he will be way more consistent this year. I definitely agree with that. He said one thing I'm worried about is right now it's FML. I don't think they do. He possibly playing Sunday. So yeah, he possibly playing Sunday. So there's nothing really to worry about. Even if he don't play, it don't seem too serious. If he eligible, they still think F.A. Melifano could play Sunday. Then it ain't that serious. He's not worried about Puka and Cup, but the Rams line is banged up and suspended. Left tackle suspended. Right tackle might be out. They moved Jonah Jackson from guard to center, which is weird. They might I didn't know about the right tackle, but damn. Oh yeah, I did read that in the preview. I don't know if he was a starting tackle, so yeah, they might be in some trouble. But overall, man, then we gotta talk about y'all boy, the local hero who might make y'all a zero, Jake Bates. So yeah, he get the chance to kick in the NFL. It's gonna be some highs and lows. You know, Jake Moody had some highs and lows last year. Let's not forget that. Jake Moody had a bunch of them for the San Francisco 49ers. He was the kicker they drafted. They get him the second or third round out of Michigan. So yeah, don't forget that. Jake Moody around. Um, so yeah. So I think, he gonna have some big kicks. He gonna have some kicks that he gonna miss. But don't make the same mistake that Young Ho Koo the Chargers did with Young Ho Koo, got rid of him and he became a star out there in Atlanta. I think he just got another contract in Atlanta as well too. So yeah, Jake Bates, I think a lot of people look forward to seeing him. I think he switched from the 43 jersey to another number jersey too. I know the dude on ESPN had his jersey. So he ain't number 43 no more. I think he switched out of that jersey, so didn't know he went to Arkansas. So yeah, we look forward to him and seeing how much they trust him. I don't really think they trusted Riley Patterson last year, and I don't really think they trusted Michael Badgley last year. That's why they went with so many fourth downs. So Jake Bates can prove his worth out there as far as making kicks. I think that you'll see more kicks being kicked than fourth downs going forward. But let me wrap it up by looking at the schedule. A lot of primetime games. You got, you open up Sunday night. Tickets dropping. They was as low as 200, now 193. So what happens with the tickets is this, for those who don't understand the tickets, in this new age found generation, this new generation of a scamming, whatever, in America don't do a great job. America don't do a great job of uh they don't do a great job of protecting the common man's interests. They don't do a great job of that. In the UK, they ban where you can buy and resell tickets, and what these resellers do, they get investors to buy tickets and resell them and shoot the price up to make a profit. In the UK, they stopped them from doing that. So, um, unfortunately, in America, the housing market is about to crash again, which is a good thing if you got some money and you get your credit together. Um, because a lot of the prices of the houses in America is going up because property taxes is shooting up. Even though they building the houses cheaper, construction costs is going up. The auto industry was able to, finesse the system a little bit and cut the cost of production. Meanwhile, in the housing market, construction prices just keep going up and up. So it's been like that even before the pandemic. Like property taxes, Construction prices to build the houses have been outpacing the salary, and that's why you got a lot of people moving overseas, getting dual citizenship, still making their money in America, and then living a simple life overseas. Now, you can choose to leave America, but I think the price tag can be anywhere from 10 to 20,000. So most people go with the dual citizenship and they go to another country and they do it that way, right? So, so yeah, it's a little tidbit. You wonder why the housing market is so outrageous. 300,000 for a house that was 150 4 years ago. It's property taxes, stuff that the government can control. Construction costs. They're building all these houses out of side and out of side and not out of brick anymore. So it's just like everything, is shooting up, and the quality is piss poor. It's crazy. But just wanted to put that little tidbit out there for y'all. But then after Sunday night, which to me on NBC and Peacock, which I mean, I got Peacock. I had Peacock through Xfinity. I don't know what happened. We got Tampa Bay. So we at home after having two away games and one home preseason game. So Tampa Bay would be another good one. Mike Evans is always a problem. We see what he did to us last year. Arizona's a trap game. I'll say that again. Arizona's a trap game. I think Arizona is going to win the NFC West. I'm in the vast, vast minority in that one. I'm in the very, very small. But I seen how Kyler Murray looked last year and how hot he got last year. So I got the Arizona Cardinals winning the West. I just got a hunch, and I could definitely be wrong. But Marvin Harrison Jr., Kyler Murray, problem. Then we travel Monday night to Seattle. They come here. So first 3 or 4 games are at home. Boy, I'm scared of Seattle, man. They be whooping on our ass, don't they? They be beating our ass. Then we got an early week 5 bye. But you kind of got another bye in there, and I explained that as well, too. So you got an early week 5 bye. Then you at Dallas, you at Minnesota, which doesn't seem as bad. Dallas, a lot of people say they ain't done nothing. This off season, I don't think it's much to be done. I just think they need to play better, which is always a dangerous game going to Dallas. And then we come back and play Tennessee, which Will Levis looked pretty good. I think Tennessee have a solid game. They got L'Jarius Sneed. So we at home versus Tennessee. Then we on the road again. So from week 6 all the way to week 10, we got 4 out of 5 road games. So we on the road for 4 out of 5 weeks. And that stretch, you play Dallas, Minnesota, Tennessee, which most people say Minnesota, Tennessee should win that game. At Green Bay early, so it won't be cold. So you would take that at Houston. So I think worst case scenario, you should go 2-3 in that stretch. But you go down to Houston on Sunday night, which can get sticky as well. So you on the AFC South trip starting the second week of November, because then you in Houston, you play Jacksonville at home. And we know what happened last time they came here. I think they'd be better this year. And we had Indianapolis, which is right up the street. So we had Indianapolis, so it'll be interesting. Then we come and play Chicago on Thanksgiving, right? So then you got a week off, a whole week off. You come back and play Green Bay at home. So 2 home games. So remember I said you had another bye in there. So you got a week off. So then you don't have to be back for 10 days until you play at home on Buffalo. So you got 3. So you really got an extra bye from Green Bay to Buffalo. You got 10 days off. So you got a bye. So you got the early bye, and then you got the Thursday night bye. You got 2 Thursday night games back to back. Instead of getting that long week, you come back on a regular week, regular 7 days, but then you get the 10 days off. And then you go down to Chicago. You know what I'm saying? You at Chicago, it's gonna be cold. It is what it is. They might be in it to win it. They might just be playing for pride. Then you end off with San Francisco. That might be a game that has some implications. It might be a rest game, and then you end off with Minnesota. So it's not a bad schedule. It's a pretty solid schedule. But this rough stretch right here, this 4 out of 5 games on the road, that's gonna be a tough stretch. So, do I see the Lions really, having another great season? I don't know. I don't do these predictions, but the schedule is kind of it's tough. If you don't start off good, then they probably not gonna have a good season. They got to start off good in this stretch. But when they hit this stretch, this gonna be the tough stretch right here. That's gonna be a tough stretch. And then really at that point, if you can be successful during this stretch from this point on, from week 1 to week 10, then for the most part, as long as you're healthy down the stretch, they should be okay. But that middle stretch is gonna be a tough stretch for them. So, but if they can start off really good in the first 10 weeks, I think they'd be okay, man. So, but other than that, man, it's pretty much all I got. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully, you enjoyed the video. Peace.